Buenos tardes, amigos, amigas, from up here in the Midwest in Michigan, where it's cold, but it's not bitterly cold. It's in the 20s, and today was a nice sunny day. And I was out there and I enjoyed myself, went out for a couple rides. And I want to talk a little bit about Mexico and how much I love Mexico and the beautiful people in Mexico. They are the greatest. And I love everything about Mexico. It's a great place. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my experience in Mexico. I went down to a border town many years ago when I was in the service for one day. I went to pick up a chess set, an onyx chess set with a wooden card table, and went back the same day. I was in Texas at the time. But I don't consider myself having been and just gone to Mexico. I consider my first trip Cuernavaca, and that's where I spent 7 days twice. The first time I went to Cuernavaca in 2018, my friend took me down there. His mother's from there. He was actually born down there. He came up here when he was 4 or 5 years old. And his mother was, anyway, I'll try and make a long story short. His mother got married to a guy from the United States. They went back up there, and she was up there 40 years. And then she went back to take care of her mother, help her family, who's down there in Cuernavaca, take care of her mother, who was in her 90s. And so she wound up going, and she's still down there today. Now, that was my first time I went to Cuernavaca. The second time I went to Cuernavaca, I was there. I went there and I had booked a hotel for 30 days. The same hotel I stayed at, which is the Posada Quintas La Flores Hotel. And I had a 30-day stay booked there. And I was there about 7 days. And I thought, wow, as much as I love Cuernavaca and I love the people, the climate, I just can't stay there because my English was like nothing. I mean, my Spanish was like zero, just about a little more, slightly more than zero. And at the time, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go somewhere else. And I have these 30 days and the hotel, okay, they didn't charge me. So I looked for places where I did some research on places where there were more English-speaking people. Now, years ago, many, many years ago, Cuernavaca was a big spot for foreigners. And the language school is there, and people were going there to live. A lot of foreigners would go there to live. But it changed over the years. So there's not near as many as there were years ago. And I thought, well, I did some research and I'll go over to San Miguel de Allende. And I got there because I knew there were a lot more foreigners going over there. And people were speaking English, so I wouldn't feel left out as much. But I wound up getting to know the Mexican people as I did in Cuernavaca. I was making friends there, but I got to know more Mexican people, and I got to know a lot of foreigners who were living there, traveled there, tourists, snowbirds, and I really loved. When I got to San Miguel de Allende, and excuse these hats, they're a little dirty because I wear them in the yard, I wear them out. I'll tell you more about that later. Some of these are old, and they got a lot of wear. But anyway, I loved San Miguel de Allende. From the moment I got there, I loved it. I loved Cuernavaca too. But once again, my Spanish was like just above zero at the time. So I got to San Miguel de Allende and met some great people from the U.S., Canada, all over the world, and wonderful Mexican people. My Spanish started improving. I really loved it there. And I got there on a Friday night, and I stayed over the weekend. And by Sunday, I knew that's the place. I thought to myself, hey, I only booked 30 days, but I still have I could change my flights and stay for the rest of my tourist visa. So I wind up staying for the rest of my tourist visa in San Miguel de Allende. I leased an apartment for about 5.5 months through a company called Realty San Miguel. And it was a beautiful apartment. And I'll go on, I can go on and on about that great place. So I spent my first snowbird season actually in San Miguel de Allende. Now, while I was in San Miguel de Allende, I went to Oaxaca City for 5 days, and I loved it there too. The climate is similar. It's similar to San Miguel de Allende, and also it's similar to Ajijic in the lakeside area. Similar, I didn't say exactly the same, but similar. I picked up some art in Oaxaca City. I was there for 5 days. And this art is from a gentleman who made these, and he was selling them in the Zócalo, which is the main square, like the Jardín, and he was selling, or the plaza, people call it the Jardín Plaza, but over there it's the Zócalo, they call it. Same thing with Cuernavaca, they'll call it the Zócalo. So I bought those over there, and I bought some tubes, there's some drawings. I bought, and then I have hats from San Miguel and Cuernavaca. And then that was the end of my first snowbird season. My second snowbird season, I went to Ajijic. And I really loved it there too. Now, everywhere I've been to in Mexico, I really loved it. So I went to Ajijic, stayed there for 6 months, made some more friends. I made a lot of friends in San Miguel de Allende, but I also made some friends in Ajijic, and I really loved the Mexican people, and I loved the lakeside area, so I decided to go back for my third snowbird season, which was my second snowbird season in the lakeside, in Ajijic again, and the whole lakeside area. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff. This is from my first trip to Ajijic and Lakeside. And this is something too, my first trip to Ajijic, my first snowbird season there. And okay, then I went back again, okay. I had to wait 18 months, or I didn't have to, I just chose to because I didn't want to go back during the pandemic. And so I missed a season, and then I went back there last September, and I don't mind these hats. That one was, I didn't like to wear too much because I was walking. I tried to clean it, but there's a lot of sweat there. But I also have bought these hats here, the Chapala hat, which I wore occasionally, or pretty frequently, and then the one I bought in Tlaquepaque. Now the Guadalajara hats, because I love Tlaquepaque and I love Guadalajara too. The two Guadalajara hats I bought not this past snowbird season, but the snowbird season before. And you can see the one here, right there, it's from, I used to wear that a lot working in the yard, so it got a little dirty. And then this one here is another one I picked up. And if you ever see a guy in the plaza wearing a hat just like this, there's probably a pretty good chance that's my buddy from Canada, because I bought him a hat exactly like that. And I bought another Canadian guy a hat exactly like that, but he's up in Canada. He's up in Halifax. I bought him a red one. So anyway, I like picking up this stuff and wearing this stuff up here because I like to tell people about my experience and my visits to Mexico and to traveling and the beautiful people that are in Mexico and what a beautiful country it is. So I like when people ask me about things, because a lot of people I know, well, I've been to Puerto Vallarta, been to Cancun, been to Cabo San Lucas, been to Playa del Carmen, but not a lot of people have went, not near as many people have went to Ajijic. Or some people know about San Miguel de Allende, but Ajijic is like a Jijic, you know. But I think more people are learning about Ajijic and Chapala and the area around there. Chapala is beautiful. All the cities around Ajijic and the lakeside area are beautiful, but a lot of people are learning more and more about these cities, and they're beautiful places. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this memorabilia. Now, these two wallets here, I always pick up about 4 to 6 wallets for my guy friends, and that's mine right there. I got stuff in it. But I like to pick up stuff for my sister, my friends' girlfriends, and different things for friends of mine. And I also pick them up stuff too. I have more stuff probably in a house somewhere here, Mexico. But more things and more things. And I just like to share. I just love Mexico so much. So I've talked a lot, and I try to put, I could really go on and on and on and tell you about each city. I could go on and on and on, but tell you all the sights and things and experiences I had, but that's probably will be piecemeal in some other videos or something like that. But I really wanted to share this stuff with you, and I hope this wasn't a boring video, but I just want to tell everyone how much I love Mexico, and I tell my neighbors, I tell people around here, so many people, and hopefully one of my friends will come down there and see me the next time I go. So with that, I want to say, please touch that word, subscribe. Just tap on that word and subscribe to this channel. I'll do my best to get up some interesting videos. I hope this one wasn't too boring, but I just wanted to show you guys and tell you guys some of my experience and how much I love Mexico. And thanks for letting me share this. For those who, I hope some of you liked it. Well, anyway, buenas tardes, hasta luego. Have a great day, and thanks for viewing. Thank you very much.